Hello everyone and welcome to my guide on Hosk, the mighty general of the Wilderberg army. This ferocious bull here to conquer you all. Is he worth investing? Stay tuned for my guide. Hello everyone, yes, we're here with Hosk. Finally, a load of you guys have been waiting for this because honestly we haven't been able to do Hosk on the channel because we haven't played with him enough, right? But now I've been playing it for him for over 3 seasons, so we've got a load of testing, been able to use him for multiple matches. So I'm going to give you guys all that good today. So smash a like, comment and subscribe for more hero guides for Call of Dragons, right? So today, Mr. Hosk, the big mighty general of the Wilderberg. Yes, that is right. He's our mighty general if you've picked the faction for Wilderberg. So you must bow down and give him some respect because he is the big boy of us, right? So when we look at Hosk, honestly, is he worth investing in? Is a big question that I'm going to answer after I've gone over the skills, because I think once you've gone over the skills, it'll make a bit more sense. But for an investment and how to get Hosk, you have to be VIP 10. So remember, you need to be VIP 10 in order to unlock Hosk, and it's going to set you back about £20, 20 bucks. Depending on your currency, it's always different, right? But it is on the VIP 10 store. By getting this bundle, it will give you 60 heads. The 60 heads is enough to unlock him and then unlock 5/1111 straight away on that hero. So get that done and you're good to go, right? You can start using him and actually pair him up with a load of commanders even from the start, right? So when we go into his skills, we've got 3 skills that we're all right with and we're happy with. But the one skill we're not happy with is the second skill. The second skill isn't going to do anything for us, just so we'll cover that right now. It's only for launching a rally. But for Wales, this is obviously a different story, and we're going to go over whale skills a little bit later and the power of Hosk with a whale, because again, this champion is going to be set for 2 different players, right? Free-to-players are going to have him at 5/1111, and the whales are going to have him at 5/555. Basically, there's only 2 ways you're going to have Hosk in this video, and that is the best way of basically running him. Either 5/1111, max him out. Don't go in between. It's not worth the amount of money, right? So this skill is all about rallying, and this is why at the moment we're not going to discuss it, but his other 3 skills are really good. So his first skill is what gives him his power. So as an overall hero, this can be triggered, and it's almost basically a passive, right? It's an active that's giving him a bunch of triggers, right? There are no skill damages involved and just a bunch of stats. But as you guys know, stats are king in this game. And the stat that you get here is absurd. 20% attack bonus, really nice to hit those big boy skill damage hits, as well as 30% HP bonus, meaning you are tankier than a lot of units now if you pair this up with certain artifacts in the arsenal. And then on top of this, you have a 10% damage dealt bonus. That is absurd with normal attacks, counter attacks, skill damage, right? You can get all of this, and obviously the critical hits too. So you got all these different types of damages all getting amplified by 10%. You can imagine this hero with anyone you want to pair him with is really good. That is why he is honestly a really good hero at 5/1111. So his third skill, this is what's really good about Hosk, right? When we go into his pairings, this is where we're going to be able to determine what you want Hosk to do. Do you want Hosk to provide more damage? If you want him to provide more damage, put him in your deputy slot. But if you want to make your march a lot more tankier, and this is where Hosk Primary shines, because Hosk Primary basically hides whoever the deputy is, because no one knows who it is until basically they fire that skill shot or zoom right into the march, right? So it's a really good way to hide whoever that march is. And if Hosk is the primary, you're going to get 10% extra defense on your march. So really good when it comes to defensive stats. And then just as a little bit of icing, a little cherry on the cake, just to give you some nice extra stats to finish out on, you get 3,000 extra troop cap, which is really good, right? Extra legion cap, really nice. More damage, more health, more units. You're just good, right? Fair enough. So skills are very easy to go over, and when you are a whale and you have all these maxed, obviously this second skill is really good because it allows you to take advantage of his awakening stage, because this is going to reduce the rally target by 15% defense, right? So their defense is shredded by 15%, and because it's been reduced, hopefully in the right time frame, when you hit your skill 1 and you gain a bunch of a buff effects, you will then gain a new awakened skill, which is these passive skills. And these are what make the awakened Hosk just do absurd damage, right? Normal attack crit rate is increased by 6%, but your counter attack crit rate is also increased by 6% for 6 seconds, and this goes all the way up to a maximum of 30%, meaning these buffs stack. So the more you're getting hit, these stacks are going to keep increasing depending on the amount of buffs you have, right? So if you can trigger 6 different buffs, and remember, you are already gaining 10% here, you're already gaining 3 different buffs here, and that's not including any talent pages or your commanders using their deputy skills, right? You're gonna gain a bunch of crits, so you do so much damage when it comes to Hosk. So is he worth investing in? You can unlock him, and he's going to be one of those optional things, right? He's not like other heroes like Barker from Rise of Kingdoms, where he's not, you know, he's useless. This hero is actually a really good hero because he provides any match with a bunch of stats, and stats are always going to be relevant throughout the game. So you're always going to get some sort of investment worth out of Hosk, and that's my honest opinion. I would either go 5-1-1-1 like I have, or you will max him out. You cannot go in between. Some players might argue in the comments you can go 5-1-5-5, but that means trying to re-roll and retrain him to get that perfect hit, and obviously spend the money to get that, right? So I personally don't think you should do that. You can spend your money elsewhere and get better investments in the game, right? So pairings with Hosk. A lot of pairings are obvious, and we're going to go over the obvious ones really first, which is stuff like Hosk with your Madeleine Deputy or your Nika Deputy. These are really good matches as a Hosk primary. It does a ton of counter-attack damage, as you can imagine. Very, very tanky match for you. As well, if you don't have any of those heroes, a really good one you could actually use is Garwood too. Hosk Garwood is just a big counter-attack damage hitting machine, right? So you can use this type of match if you want to boost up as much counter-attack hits and do a bunch of damage, basically. It's a super tanky match what you can use that as a alternative. But you've got some other cool things you can do with Hosk, right? You can jump in with the cavalries, and you can have Emrys as a deputy, and this is going to make you basically hit harder, because as the Hosk triggers his 10% extra damage and that 20% extra attack bonus, obviously the Emrys is going to be very happy with his nuke doing more damage. So really good one. Obviously the rage cycling bonus at 5-5-1-1 Emrys is really good with the Hosk. It's going to let that rage generation go. If you've got someone like Bakshi, I would try and get a Bakshi to 5-1 and then either 5-1 here, or you can go 5-1-1-5. If you get one of those combinations, honestly, through pure luck, or if you like mine, it is what it is. But if you get one of those combinations with Hosk, again, a really good combination for cavalry. It's a super tanky match, but actually does a lot more skill damage with counter-attack hits involved too. But you can do all sorts. Again, Hosk primary is a really good one to hide someone like Nico. If you've got a 5-1-1-1 Nico and you want to hide him, putting this guy in the deputy slot and using marksman units is a really good archer match. You can also do the same with a Lilia, but a lot of players do prefer a Lilia primary with a Hosk secondary, just to let you guys know. And that's just because of the talent tree choice of the skill tree Lilia has, so just remember that. But you can, if you want to choose Hosk, try it out, but I'm just going to give you guys the information right here. So you can see there's a bunch of options, and you can go to Epic Heroes and it's the same. If you want to use Hosk with someone like Guan Win, this is actually an excellent, and I mean an excellent match for raiding. Having Gwanwyn primary with the Hosk as your secondary in this scenario will give them that 15% normal attack damage bonus, which is really, really good in a raid. As you guys know, you're going to deal a bunch more damage. And obviously when he triggers his stat bonuses on this first little investment as a 501 commander, during that time you're going to do a bunch more damage. So again, really, really good march to have with a Gwanwyn when she has that 50% increase chance. Well, I should say when her unit is 50% increased units or higher, she gets that 10% extra damage, right? So really good, as well as the hero skill damage from her awakening. So you can do all sorts. Like I say, we can go all day with all the pairings. Hosk is that versatile, so he's very good, and you're gonna get your money's worth out of investments. But if you're looking for the best sort of artifacts for him, what I would actually advise is to abuse the HP ones. So if you're going to use marksman, having this Viola's bow on that Hosk march is really good, because you're going to have 30% extra HP when he triggers his health. So in total, with my Viola's bow currently, that's almost 67%, right? Because I've got a 37% increase of Legion HP here from mine. You can do the same with the Dragon Scale armor. If you're looking for cavalry, I would actually advise using Solan's Blade or Spring Blade. Really, really powerful artifact for you, especially if you get that skill 1 to trigger and you get the damage increase and then you fling it out the Spring Blades. Yeah, some really big damage numbers on that Legion march. So there's a load of different things you can obviously use as a PvE artifact. Bomb Flinger, the Butcher Blades, like I've got, is really good for an infantry variant. You can use all sorts of artifacts, honestly. Whatever march you are using, I would honestly, if you've watched any of my other guides on marksman, mages, or infantry, and you know the go-to artifacts by now, hopefully, you should know what artifacts to run as Hosk, because that artifact slot is going to be basically determined on the unit type you use. You know, mages, Phoenix Eye is going to be really good. You know, even your Magic Bomb. If you've got cavalry, we've gone over. Fang of a Shikari is really good for infantry and cavalry. So you can go on and on when it comes to this with the artifacts, so I hope you have got that right now. So that is it so far for Hosk. We're going to go over his talents next, the long and winded bit. I've got 2 main talent pages to go over, because the third one would be a rally page. I want to try and do rallying and garrison in a separate video. You know, I want to try and do a whole guide on it, show some gameplay on it, and I hope you guys enjoy that when it does eventually come out. But we're going to go over 2 main ones that I think are really, really good for Hosk. One is a really good one for basically every unit you're going to be using. And then the other one is more focused for the archers, or if you're going to be maybe a normal attack heavy based unit, like infantry potentially as an aggressive march option. So let's go over all of the talents when it comes to Mr. Hosk. So if you made it this far, smash a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I am MrSneakyy, an official Core Dragons content creator, and we're at the talent pages, and this is where a lot of you guys love the content, because we go very in-depth in here, right? So if you want really in-depth analysis, stay tuned. This is what this segment is all for, and it's why probably it's just as long as the whole first section that covers multiple points on Hosk, right? So let's get into it. We've got 2 different pages to go over. We've got an overall tree and a precision tree to go over today. So the overall tree is basically the tree that I would recommend to use if you want to use it for a jack of all trades, meaning no matter what unit you use your Hosk with, it's going to be good, right? So that's a really good thing that I like, and it keeps some core things and fundamentals that I like about Hosk. So Hosk is giving you a bunch of stats, and it makes you really, really tanky. So in this, you get some free health, and I choose to get the full defense, because depending on what units you're going to be using, you're going to have march speed with cavalry, and later on in the tree, as you're going to see, you're going to get march speed anyway. So we're going to cover that as later. But having more defense is better, right? Making our march as tanky as possible is trying to abuse the amount of stats we gain through Hosk, because the longer we're on the battlefield, we're going to take advantage of that 30% extra HP, that extra 20% attack, and the 10% damage, right? So we need to be as tanky as possible to keep firing out our natural damage. So we go for Warbanner now to synchronize our even 1 point now. So we got 1500 on our Legion capacity here. And again, if we look, this is 3000. So already 4500 Legion capacity increase is no joke, right? A nice little bit of an increase, meaning you have 224,500 troops, right, as your main march. And that's at level 50. All the way to level 68, it's going to go up to 254,000, and that's a really nice number to have. So then what I like to do is go down Spirited Response. This is whenever you get hit, and you get hit a ton whenever you're using Hosk, you're going to gain basically an additional 4 rage. And gaining 4 rage doesn't sound a lot, but the fact that this triggers every second, basically every turn of combat, you're going to gain a bunch of rage. And then with this, you can do 2 different routes here. And this is where my in-depth guides start to come in. So you can choose strength to strength, which is what I have gone for. And this is a 1.5% more damage increase. So we can take advantage of as much damage and tankiness as we can with this build. But if you would prefer to, there is a second choice here. You can go for Unrelenting Fury, because we already gain, as you guys know, 3 different buff effects really easily. And we're going to gain another one in a second. So the fact that we're gaining so many buff effects, we're going to gain another 3 rage. This isn't on a cooldown. So you're able to now basically combo Unrelenting Fury with that Spirited Response. So a really good rage gen engine there for Hosk if you want it, right? So I'll let you guys pick. If you want a rage engine, go for it. It's a really good option too, but I prefer damage just because my troops naturally so far that I've been fighting with are normally stronger than the opponents. Because my units are stronger than the opponents, I'm going to go for more damage. I don't need to rage cycle because I know I'm naturally going to beat them. So that's why I go for more damage here. Then we go for Emergency Triage, and this is why I love this as a jack of all trades. You get 10% reduced Sevoons. So whenever you're in combat, all the fighting you're doing compared to everyone else, as long as Hosk is your primary, you're getting 10% reduced hospitals. I love it. I love it. Less resource bills. Everyone's going to love that. Free. Basically, it's going to free up the free elixir healing. It's going to free up your resource healing by 10%. And in a long term, this does add up, guys. And you can imagine how much resource this is going to add up for you in the combat. If you really wanted to, you can go for the marksman or the infantry one if you really want to go for a very specialized way of playing a Hosk. But if you do pick one of these 2, you will be going into Hasty Retreat anyway. And Hasty Retreat is whenever you get hit by a normal attack, you're going to gain haste. This is going to give you 20% march speed, and this is what we're talking about. 1 extra buff effect that would combo with Unrelenting Fury if you want to, and this is going to give us a bunch of march speed, which we was lacking and we skipped on earlier on, right? So that's why we've done the route we have done now. And when you finish on this tree, Thunder Fury will give you either attack or defense every 30 seconds. So this is again another buff effect. So again, really good arguments, as you can see, for why you would want to take Unrelenting Fury here in this build as maybe a free-to-play player or a lower spender that hasn't got super strong tech yet because you're newer to the game. The amount of buffs you're going to gain, you're going to take advantage of with the rage generation from here and Spirit on Response. But as you know, this is my build so far, and what I would do with my last 7 points would be to put all 5 into overall attack and actually put the last 2 points into the overall speed just to catch up on, and that would complete your level 50 build. If you're going to go all the way to level 60 now, you would then finish 3 points into Adrenaline Rush, and then 5 points into Last Word, and then ending on with Invincible if you are going to pick a Marksman March. But if you're going to pick a Infantry, Cavalry, or Mage March, you should always pick Whirlwind for the skill damage. So I hope that makes it nice and clear for you guys on the end on that tree. So that is what we're going to be running on the overall tree so far for you guys. Take a screenshot for you, all mapped out. Remember, 5 points here, 2 points, 3 points, and 5 points, finishing out depending on what your march is on those 2 segments. So that is the big boy Hosk on his first talent tree. His second tree we're going to go over is the precision tree. This tree is more of a aggressive tree, and again, this center keystone I'm going to go over right now is determined by if you are using mages, cavalry, infantry, or marksmen. If you are using marksman, please always use invincible to increase your normal attack damage. This is going to give you more damage overall. But if you're using any of the other marchers, that's why we go whirlwind for skill damage, because we benefit more from using skill damage in those marchers. So that's why in this scenario I've got it on whirlwind, so you can see if you're going to be using cavalry, mages, or infantry, this is the one you're going to be using. It makes more sense because it's obviously tailored to more of the units in the game. So you're going to go for the attack, and as I said earlier, you're going to go for 2 and 3 points, and 5 and then 1. And this is like your foundational area. This is going to give you a bunch of damage, a little bit of tankiness because of the counter-attack hits, meaning you're going to deal more damage to all of those guys trying to hit you from multiple areas. And it gives you a little bit of march speed that we're going to not get in the later stage. From here, we're going to put 1 point into initial tuition, and the reason why is in PvP, you have a 2% chance now to remove a debuff effect, and 2% chance is no joke. 1 in 50 auto attacks eventually will be triggering this, and in combat, if you're removing movement speed or an attack debuff on yourself, you're going to be happy because you're going to be able to either escape or deal more damage to that target. With this, we get 1.6% extra mitigation on the enemy defense, and it's really good because this actually combines with Arrow of Precision, our center keystone, which also gives us 1% extra mitigation. So in total here you have basically 2.6%. really nice little bit of damage increase without having to go all the way in. And then what I do is go for some rage generation. Now whenever we launch a normal attack, we're gonna have our rage gen, and then whenever we do launch a rage like a normal attack, we get a big boost of normal attack damage. This is really good for cavalry and infantry and archers. The mages aren't too happy about this, but obviously they're going to be at least happier gaining some normal attack damage over any of the other sort of skills that they want. If you really want to as a mage, dedication is a fine alternative. This just gives you healing over time when you are fighting. But what I would then go for is Mighty Slash. So whenever you fight in and you have a basically 50% chance to fire an additional normal attack, basically rapid fire. You have a 15% chance every 20 seconds to rapid fire once and get an extra normal attack in, which is really cool that you're going to be able to do that. It means you can again rage gen really hard and obviously hit harder with all of your attack damage. So that is the final build for that tree. If you're wondering where you go from here, you will go overall health, you will then go for the defense, you will then go for War Banner, and you will still go Spirit Response. And this time, if you want Unrelenting Fury, it is a very fine option because only 0.3% damage isn't enough for this talent. So finish off with Unrelenting Fury, and you're good to go. So that is Hosk done, guys. The big boy, mighty general, you know, for the Wilderberg. He is covered now, finally on the channel for the first time. I do apologise for all the guys looking for it, but he's here and we've done it finally, and he's basically the latest commander in all of the playlist for you guys to check out. So if you want to check out any of the Season 1 heroes so far, we have covered pretty much all of them, and there's only a couple left to go before we finish off and do Syndron, and that will be the final hero guide I'll be doing, because that'll be all of the hero guides once he is done. So when you see Syndron, you should know every other hero has been done, and he will be the finale of all the hero guides. So he is coming soon, guys. Don't you worry, I'm looking at all your comments, and he is going to be coming very, very soon. So if you enjoyed today's video on the main boy though, Hosk, smash a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. My name's MrSneakyy, an official Call of Dragons content creator for you guys, here giving you all that hero guide goodness, as well as PvP content, behemoth guides, and all updates to do with Call of Dragons. So until the next video, stay safe, stay sneaky, peace out everyone.